Hello, can everybody hear me okay? Okay, thank you everyone. Let me introduce myself and let me first say thank you to taking the time to listen to us today. We're from Nissan. My name is Dean Brown. I'm an IT manager in our manufacturing plant in Sunderland, so it's good to be connected to you all virtually from Sunderland. Um, I have with me my excuse me, sorry, just one second. Okay, sorry. I have with me Ákos Ferdinandy, who's from our shared service centre and is local to Budapest. And we're here to talk about some of the opportunities that are coming up within our Budapest centre for Nissan. So if you can go to the next slide, please. So I guess first off, just to by way of introducing the company, I guess most of the people on the call can recognize the Nissan brand and some of our models such as Leaf and Qashqai and GTR. I think what may not be obvious to a lot of people is that we're part of a larger organization with our alliance partners. Renault, Nissan, and Mitsubishi all work together to achieve the vision of mobility for all. We sell many cars across the globe. We have many manufacturing plants, quite a large and complex organization. And also, what I'd like to introduce to you today is a little bit about the culture and the values that we hope set Nissan apart. So if we can move to the next slide, please. So our corporate culture is called the Nissan Way, and the driving principle is that the power comes from inside. Some of the values that we ask our people to adapt day to day in their working life is to, number one, always think of the customer. So have a very strong sense of why we're here, why we exist as an organization, and centered that around the customer. The second is to what we call show facts and face reality. So we expect that our workforce all adopt a very transparent approach and have a way of approaching problems in a very solution orientated way, and be very realistic about what is achievable and what isn't achievable. The third is about being accountable and acting proactively. It kind of goes without saying, but we expect all of our employees to take a strong lead and strong ownership of their respective scope. Number four is to think outside of the box. A lot of times within Nissan, the answer is maybe not written down for you. You need to search it yourself. Lateral problem solving and a real proactive approach to solving problems. Sorry, is very much at the forefront of our mind. Number five is about respecting others and respecting society. Again, it kind of goes for without saying, but we have a very mature corporate social responsibility. We have very strong focus on inclusion, diversity, and we see that as a key strength. Obviously, within Europe, we have a very diverse workforce that's spread across most of the countries that make up Europe. And so taking that approach of different cultures and how we adapt to each other's points of view to create a shared goal and a shared outcome is something that we again put at the foresight of our minds. So that's a little bit about the culture of Nissan. If we can move on to the next slide, please. Next slide, please. Thank you. So just to home in on Europe a little bit, so Nissan has a very large presence in Europe. We're traditionally a Japanese company, but we are very much involved in Europe, and we see Europe as a key area of growth within the business. We sell more than 500,000 vehicles per year. We've got award-winning crossovers such as Duke and Qashqai, and we were the first mass-market electric car, the Nissan Leaf. And so far to date, we've sold over 500,000 zero emission vehicles within Europe alone. The Duke, the Qashqai, and the Leaf are all built in our manufacturing plant. It's just over the road from me, actually, in Sunderland, in the UK. But we also have large manufacturing facility in St. Petersburg in Russia, and we have smaller kind of subcomponent manufacturing throughout Europe and especially in Spain also. We've got a plan for the next 10 years to have 100% of our new vehicle offerings to be electrified and to have electric options. And we expect to be among the levers driving the adoption of electric vehicle technology. We were the first to the market with 100% Nissan Leaf, and we are still committed to making different drives, different drivetrains, different technologies a key part of the digital adoption and the move to electrification that we expect to see across Europe. And not everybody at Nissan is directly involved at making the cars. Not everyone touches the vehicles, but everyone at Nissan has a strong contribution to the success of the customer satisfaction of every car every day. So we expect that even in areas such as finance or IS and IT, that people can look at our products with a real sense of pride that they have achieved a small part of building that vehicle, even if they weren't directly involved to touch each car. And move on to the next slide, please. So I understand that my colleague Ákos is struggling to connect, so maybe I'll cover this slide. This is about our existing team in Budapest. It's actually in the info park. We have a team that's currently around 70 dedicated and driven individuals that actively work on and develop and grow the efficiency of our business within Europe. When you join us in Budapest, you're not only part of a self-service center or a shared service center. It's not a transaction-driven site. We very much expect and appreciate the quality and the innovation, and also the challenge brought by our colleagues in Budapest to challenge the status quo, ask why things are done in the way that they're done, and to really make improvements to the business and take the business forward. Our team members enjoy international visibility and interaction on a daily basis, often working across cultures, not only within Europe, but also with our colleagues in Japan, in Americas, in China, and in India. And we have a very exciting period of change and transformation within the business. And there are a lot of very large, very exciting projects that we expect to be driven largely by the team in Budapest. True business partners, part of the team, able to add value and also to build influence. And as to enable that, we encourage all employees to really take all of your skills and all of your previous experience to add value day by day and really to grow and thrive within the team that's in Budapest. And we want to underpin that with lifelong learning and development. So we have, as I've mentioned before, a very much a learning culture, a learning and challenging culture. It's not I would say it's not a traditional shared service center. We have cross-functional teams, cross-skill teams. We have very exciting projects and very challenging projects to deliver, as well as very complex tasks. So that's a little bit about the current team with Budapest. And that center it's relatively young, but it has been steadily grown over the past few years. If you can move on to the next slide, please. Okay, so I guess why we're here today. So we are on a journey. We are growing our team in Budapest. As I've mentioned, from a team of around 70, we look to at least double that over the next 6 to 9 months. Here are some examples of roles. I'll not read through all of the roles, but you can see it's quite wide ranging, the skills, the experience, the day-to-day responsibilities that we're looking for. Over 50 vacancies, which are growing, and there will be more vacancies to come for sure. But in the areas of finance, IS and IT, with a variation on grades as well. So we expect different levels of experience. We welcome different levels of experience from very experienced individuals with vast skills and knowledge, but also we are wanting to build a really young, and when I say young, I don't mean by age, I mean a real dynamic, almost a mini startup within Nissan itself to challenge and to really drive and be key to the future success of the region. So everything from accountancy, from financial control, from IS and IT delivery, right through to coordination and transition project management. It's really quite a wide range of skills and a wide range of roles that you'll see as you know, if you were to look on our recruitment side. Next slide, please. Okay, so what are we looking for in our finance team? So as I've mentioned before, there is an existing team there. The current scope is really about accountancy, so general ledger, accounts payable, accounts receivable, working across multiple different languages. We support everything from English to Spanish, French, and some of the let's say more exotic languages that we have in our Nordic team. So quite a large language dependency on there. But we expect people to be quite autonomous and also quite in control of their own nature. So as well as the transactional things that we do, it's not just that. It's very much supervision, lead, business partner. And also we do a lot of work around business flow and business process improvement. For example, improving our invoice management processes and the underlying technologies and systems and process flows and all those good things that underpin that. What we're looking to add, you can see some of the kind of highlights there. So credit risk reporting and really looking at taking a more proactive view of our financial health, reporting and controlling. Again, we have an established reporting and controlling team, but obviously taking that to the next level, we expect to be delivered largely from Budapest. We have a dedicated team for projects, so whether they be transitioning scope into the teams, transitioning scope out of the teams where appropriate, and also process improvement specialists. So a real desire to improve our processes. As I've mentioned before, I would not expect there to be a fully mature and um, a fully readable playbook. We expect people to join that are really able to look for improvements and proactively look for improvements to our existing processes. We also have some areas around our actual products and controlling the cost of our products. That is what we mean by PEC, so product economic control. And that's really about making sure that when we build a vehicle, that it's for the right price for the customer and that the customer has a real understanding of the value of each of the kind of parts that are within the vehicle. So if you go to a dealer and you ask for a certain grade of model, you can really see the value add as you move through the different grades, why things are more expensive or cheaper depending on which option you choose. In addition to that, we have a large tax team, or sorry, we will have a large tax team taking care of the tax flows within the region. That's obviously became a lot more front and center and kind of more challenging post Brexit, and the fact that we have a large manufacturing facility in the UK, which is no longer part of the EU, and all of the various tax related changes that are happening as a result of that all needs to be controlled, and also treasury. So working with various governments and also looking after our own assets. And the headline is that we're looking for motivated junior and senior financial professionals who are interested in the above areas, whether they be to supplement the current team and take over the current scope, or to help us in some of these areas of growth that I've described. Thank you. Next slide, please. And just a little bit on IS and IT. So I'm an IT guy. I'm not much of a finance guy. But really, the focus here is on establishing a team that is centered around Nissan's core technologies with a real eye and a real focus on delivery. So we are part of a team that is accountable for the end-to-end provision of technology to meet our business needs. I've talked a lot about Europe on the call, but we've actually newly formed what we call a super region by merging Europe with Africa, Middle East, India, and Oceania. And really, no 2 days are the same. We have a multitude of different projects, a multitude of different technologies. We are in a position where we need to consolidate our technologies and really focus on what is core and look to drive synergy and drive extra value in that larger region. And that's very much the focus for the foreseeable future for the team in Budapest. We see that expanding team. It's a very small team at the moment. It's going to go through a huge period of expanse in the next year or so, but it's a key part of the wider IS and IT function that's across the company. So it's working with the teams that will be located with our business. So if I take Sunderland as an example, next to our manufacturing management and our manufacturing operations, and also our strategic centers in Dubai, in Paris, just outside of Paris. But we see the team in Budapest driving the future success, the right solutions, the right cost, the right quality, and importantly as well, we see the people as being a real kind of destination and a source of future talent within the organization. What we're looking for are technology professionals that are motivated in joining us on this journey, and we're very much at the start of this journey, building the capability that we need to deliver the outcomes that we need to do so in a period of quite unprecedented change in the automotive industry. If you think about the internal combustion engine, largely it's remained unchanged for around 100 years. Roughly how we buy and sell cars hasn't changed for close to 60 or 70 years. And we expect more change in the next 4 years than we have in the last 70 years, where people look at vehicles as services, as connected parts of their everyday life, where technology is becoming more and more crucial to meet the needs and the expectations of our customers. So if this sounds like you, and I've given some example roles there, so technical analysis, business analysis, delivery leads, security experts, capability leads built around some of our example technologies such as Salesforce, such as Web and Java, SAP, business intelligence, BI, and also some legacy mainframe applications. All of this will be delivered from Budapest and our new team, very, very young team in Budapest. So if this sounds like you, if this sounds like a challenge that you feel you could add value to, then please come and talk to us, because I'm very, very sure that we'll be able to find roles within the organization that will be interesting, that will be stretching, and give a real experience on delivery for a large global automotive company, all delivered in the Budapest area. So thank you. That's the end of our slides. If anyone has any questions, please come and join us on our virtual booth. We've a number of people there that are ready to take any questions that you have. And similarly, if you have maybe you don't have such a clear idea on certain roles, but you feel like you can add value, then please upload your CV, and we'll over the next few days we'll be going through all of those CVs and taking a view on the kind of skills and experience that we can expect to find in Budapest. So thank you very much.